Okay, so my name is Frank Anderson. I am the giveaway guy. I'll tell you a little bit about me in a couple minutes. I promise to keep it really short. You're not going to learn about my life story and stuff. There is something very specific that has to do with me and my journey that's important to this presentation, but I'm serious. That's going to take about a whole minute and a half of the presentation. So let's talk about giveaways, because a whole bunch of you are on here because I promised a chance to win $1,000. That's absolutely real. Not only that, but there's some unannounced stuff that I told you. You're also going to get a chance to win a vacation for two to Mexico. You're going to get a chance to win $1,000 in groceries. You're going to get a chance to win $1,000 in restaurant certificates, and you're going to get a chance to win one of my top-selling software called Traffic Jacker, and then you're going to get a chance to win, another software that I haven't even released to the public yet for Instagram. So there's going to be some big-time giveaways. Now, I'm going to be talking about a very, very special type of marketing, probably one that you've never heard of, never seen, and it's going to blow you away. Okay. And the cool part is when we get to the giveaways, I'm going to do a live demonstration, and you're going to be able to participate in the live demonstration. And then, everybody's going to win something. Okay. If you're the lucky one, maybe you're going to win $1,000. Okay. Maybe you're going to win $1,000 in groceries. Maybe you're going to go to Mexico, or maybe you're going to get one of my software, but all the prizes range from $50 to $1,500 in value. They're all real, and you're going to be in for a real cool treat when we do that demonstration in just about 40 minutes from now, okay? Okay, so what if I told you I could take a company like PepsiCo? So let me clarify. I'm not a Pepsi lover. I'm not a PepsiCo lover. Actually, I kind of detest any major franchises that have a monopoly. Okay, we got about 10 companies that control everything that we buy in the world. PepsiCo is one of those 10. So I'm not a PepsiCo lover, but I want to show you the power that they have. All of these big giant brands, they own them all. They run them all. So what if I could get a company like PepsiCo to promote you? Let me say that again. What if I could get a company like PepsiCo and the other 10 big conglomerates that own everything on planet Earth? What if I could get them to promote you? What if I could get brand names like this to promote you? Okay, what if I could get brand names like this to promote you? What if I could get brand names like this to promote you without having to pay them a dime? Do I have your attention now? Type a 5 in the chat box if you absolutely want to know how that works. All right, Terry, Darla, Jeff, Ted, Pam, John, Nancy, Vipla. All right, Panos, good. Okay, all right, we're getting a whole bunch more 5s in now. But I want to show you how to get the biggest giant firms on the planet to promote you without having to pay them a dime. So I call this money-making method the Fortune 500 Profits. Okay, just a name I made up, right? Because that's what I think it is. It's definitely a money-making method to leverage that kind of buying power, and that brand recognition for your business is, priceless, right? So let me ask you, we are over halfway through 2018. Type a 1 in the chat box if you're still struggling to make your business work. If sales aren't where you want them to be, if your leads aren't where you want them to be, if you're not making the money you deserve, type a 1 in the chat box. I'm not going to read out the people's names here because that's a little bit more private information. So far, 2 people have been brave enough to let me know they're still struggling. Maybe now that I've let you know that I'm not going to read your names out. Come on, let me know who you are. I'm not going to publicize it to the rest of the webinar, but we got 3 of our attendees are saying they're still struggling. Okay, now we're coming up here. Okay, 10, 12. Okay, there was another group. I guess that was 5 or 6 more. Okay, so the major majority of you are being honest with me, and maybe income or your business is not exactly where you want it to be. So let me ask you, if I gave you a magic wand, a superpower, supercharged magic wand, what is the one thing you would change to improve your business? Only one thing. I know there's all kinds of things we want to make our business better, but what is the one thing that you absolutely want to change for your business that would improve it? You don't, your magic wand only has one charge. So type in the chat box. All right, Darla says conversions. So for those of you who don't know what that means, that's when somebody comes to one of Darla's web pages, she wants to get a higher percentage of the people to either sign up to her list or buy her products. Jeff says targeted traffic, buyers, exposures. See, Jeff's cheating. He thinks he's got a real magic wand that'll give him 3. Okay, no, I get it. Targeted traffic of buyers. Okay. Christopher says real traffic. Vipla says more leads. Nancy says more sales. John says, I can't get enough exposure. Nobody listens to me. Pam wants buyers. Ted wants buyers. Nicholas, I can't quite understand what you're saying there. So here's what everybody's telling me. They want more leads, they want more prospects, and they want more customers. If you said traffic, you want one of these things. If you said exposure, you want one of these things. If you said conversions, you want one of these things. More leads, more prospects, more customers. So what's stopping you? If you want these things and you recognize they're important, so much so that you would, wave your magic wand, what is stopping you from getting them? If you wanted traffic, what's stopping you? If you wanted buyers, what's stopping you? If you wanted conversions, what's stopping you? Nobody? Okay, that's fair. If you have a real challenge, sometimes you don't know the solution. Okay. Jeff says, myself. Good answer, Jeff. We are usually our biggest problem. Most people's biggest problem is themselves. Darla says what's stopping her is engagement. So again, if you can't get any engagement, what's stopping you? I'm going to share some secrets that I've learned of 2 years of running a high-end coaching program. Okay. I started in business about 7 years ago, and I really sucked really bad at it, and I almost bankrupted myself totally, and I was able to crawl out, make a little bit of money. Then I started making a little bit more money, and then after I started knowing what I was doing, I started offering a coaching program. And when you run a coaching program, you get to meet your clients on a very, very personal and intimate basis, and you get to understand their mindset. You get to understand what's really, really, really holding them back. So after 2 years and hundreds of personal one-on-one coaching sessions, here's what I learned. Pretty much the biggest reason online that's screwing most people up is free bad advice. Never mind that. There's a lot of courses you buy that are equally bad. Okay. You got all kinds of jackasses out there selling courses of something that they did 5 years ago that worked, that they know damn well does not work today, but they charge you money and they give you this advice, and you have no idea that it's bad advice, and you spend 2 weeks or 2 months trying to follow this method and you get no results, and then you wonder, what the hell? What the hell? Now, there's lots of good advice out there too, but the free bad advice or the paid bad advice is the biggest thing that really screws up somebody's business, because if you're going in the wrong direction, you've got zero chance. Okay? So one of the things about me is I followed a lot of bad advice, and I've even given myself a ton of bad advice, okay? But when I show you something, I only show you something that's working for me now. I'm not going to share with you today a strategy that worked for me in 2015 and only works about 20% as well today. Or something cool I was doing in 2016 and only works 10, 20, 25% as well as it did in 2016. I don't do that. I only share products that I use personally and methods that I use personally that I'm working with right now today that are working for me. Okay. So no, you're not going to get bad advice from me. I'm not going to put you in the wrong direction. So the biggest bad advice out there is this model. Okay. This model makes me want to scream and yell and shout from the mountaintops because 5, 6, 7 years ago, this worked. Because you could just share your links online. People would go to your links and a percentage of the people would just join. You might have to do a little bit more work and talk to them on Facebook, and then they would join. Okay, this model basically has zero chance of working today. And I'm going to prove it to you mathematically. Okay, so the gurus and the companies that are saying, join me, promote my link, and earn money, either don't understand what I'm about to teach you or they don't care. The biggest piece of bad advice that you're getting is that you're being told to join an opportunity, promote the link, and earn money. Okay? That does not work. And I'm going to show you why that doesn't work. There's two major things happening in internet marketing. There's two major things that are happening in marketing. One of them is specific to internet marketing that really, really, really make that formula impossible. That makes this formula impossible. Not work a little bit. It does not work. Okay? The first one is the rule of 7. So the rule of 7 has been around for a long time, and it's a rule. It's like a marketing law. Okay? The rule of 7 states that people need to have 7 exposures to your brand, your product, your service before they're ready to whip out their credit card and buy. It's a rule. It's a law. Why is this important? Okay, well, because there's about a 98% abandon rate. So what does that mean? Okay, well, companies like Alexa and HubSpot and some others, they're data aggregators. They track everything that's happening online. So what they're saying is for the average website, when you send a person to a page, 98% of them will never come back. This is not my opinion. This is a statistical fact. Okay, so they all argue about what the actual number is, but they all agree that it's above 90%. HubSpot says 98%. Other ones say 91 and 93, okay? But if you can understand what I've just said about the rule of 7, if you send somebody to a link and you need to get them there 6 more times and 90+% never come back, that means no sales for you. So I'm going to go back and share my screen here. I'm going to explain what this calculator does. It lets you put in the amount of leads. It lets you put in the percentage of prospects that don't return. It says return prospects, but it's actually the percentage that won't come back. And then it lets you put in a sales conversion rate and a sales price of a product that you're offering. So let's say you're offering a product for $47. Okay. And if you studied sales conversions at all, that means if 100 people come to your site, what percentage of people will buy? Well, the very, very good marketers, they average 3 to 5%. I mean, can you get higher? Yes. I've had campaigns that did 17%. They're rare. Okay. But 3 to 5%. So I'm going to put 5% in here. Okay. You know what? I'm going to put something ridiculous like 15. And then we're going to put the return prospects, the prospects that don't return. Okay. This should just be, there, that's more accurate. Okay. I'm going to put 90%. Okay. And then I'm going to say, well, what would happen if I got 500 leads? If I worked my butt off and I got 500 people to come to this link, what would happen? So I'm going to type in 500 and I'm going to hit enter. So the first visit's 500. The second visit is 50. The third visit is 5. The fourth visit is 1. And there is no fifth, sixth, or seventh visit. Number of sales, 0. Type a 7 in the chat box if you get why you're struggling now. Type a 7 if you now understand why your traffic is not converting. All right. Okay, 7 start trickling in. Okay. Now, here is the mind-blowing part that will melt your brain. Let's up this to 5,000. That's a lot of leads, eh? 4 cents. That's how much money you'll make. If 15% of the people bought a $47 item based on the rule of 7 and the abandon rate, 4 cents. Is this 100% absolute? No. You could get 3 or 4 people that bought on the first time. You could get a couple people that bought on the second time. I'm trying to show you that the rule of 7 says that the average person does not buy until they've had exposure to you 7+ times. And if you don't get them there, and we're talking about the major majority, okay? Sometimes I only need 3 visits to make a sale, but most of the time we need 7. So watch this. What if I went to 500,000? Based on the rule of 7 and the 90% abandon rate, you'll only be able to make $4 with 500,000 leads. Okay, so let's say now that the abandon rate is not 90%. Let's say it's only 50%. Now you see how the numbers jump up here? But you make $50,000, but you got 500,000 visitors. You started with 500,000. You better be able to make $50,000, right? Now your sales conversion rate here should go down to about 5%. So this would be more accurate, right? Somebody gets 500,000 visitors to a campaign, they'd make around 19 grand. Now, could these numbers improve? Yes, but based on the 90% abandon rate and the rule of 7, 500,000 gets you nothing. This is why join a company, share a link, get paid does not work. You need to talk to somebody 5, 6, 7 times before they will join you in your company. You need to get them to go to that company page 5, 6, 7 times before they will join, if they will join. And if you don't, you need an astronomical amount. Like even if I typed in 5 million here, you know, even at a 60% abandon rate, which is 30% lower than the industry big guys say it is, only produces about $48,000 of sales at a 5% conversion on 47. Okay. Now, the thing is, when you get leads the proper way, okay, watch what happens here. Now I got 500 leads, okay, and I got 0% abandon rate. Now, how do you get 0% abandon rate? Well, you capture those leads, where those leads give you the permission to message them. So maybe the abandon rate's not exactly that. Maybe it's something more like 20%, okay? Because not everybody's going to open all your emails, okay? So you can see that by the time you get down here to the 7th email, you only have about a 20% open rate. So when they first join, anyways, I'm not going to get into that. So you can see how we're closer to $1. We're closer to $1 per person. Okay. If we generate leads that agree to let us market to them again. So they joined a list. So that could be SMS, that could be email, that could be messenger, that could be push notifications. Okay. If they said yes and you you can eliminate this abandon rate. You can get your exposures, and then boom, you got 500 people paid you almost $500. And next month, you can do the same thing to the same 500 people. And if you have something good to offer them again, then you can produce the same amount of money from the same people. Okay? Does everybody understand that? Okay, now that I re-explained it, Candy, do you understand it? Yes, what I'm saying is the law of average says that somebody needs to become familiar with you, Candy. So they go to your page, and they got to go to your page 4, 5, 6, 7 times. The law of seven, the rule of 7 says 7 is the average number. The second part is there's an abandon rate, meaning that when somebody goes to your page, 90% won't come back. So if you need them to come back 7 times and 90% won't come back, you're in trouble unless you find a different way. And the way is to build a list, an email list, a messenger list, a push notification list, or an SMS list. These people give you permission to market to them. So you give them something, they join your list, and then you can market to them, and you eliminate those 2 big business killers. Does that make more sense? Does everybody else type a 1 in the chat box if you understood what I just covered here? Yes, Candy, absolutely. That's exactly what I'm saying. Capture their email, or there's other types of lists, but the email is how most people make money online, and that's great. Capture their email. But there's a problem with that, right? There's a problem with the email capture, and we're going to go into that right now. Okay, so now we see how important lead generation is. Now, a lead generation is not somebody who say, hi, on Facebook, how was your day? I know, thank God I get to talk to a like-minded person. That is not capturing a lead. That's the beginning of the prospecting process. That's still a good method to talk to people personally. So don't get confused. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm saying that's not lead generation. Lead generation is capturing their email or getting them on a messenger list with a special piece of software, SMS, push notifications. These are all different types of lists that allow you to market to them again, remarketing. Okay, we're going to get to that, Candy. That's a good question. What's the problem with capturing their email now? Okay, so the thing is, if we don't have those emails, we don't have those leads. No leads equals no sales, no exception. Okay, there's no exception to that rule. If you have no leads, you got nobody to sell anything to, so you got no money. Okay, so you agree or disagree with that? 2 in the chat box if you agree. Okay, great. Everybody's coming in. Agree. Okay, so like Candy says, what's the problem capturing their emails now? What's the big challenge? Okay, so I'm going to hurry it along a little bit. I'm going to tell you what the big challenge is. No one cares. This is the harsh reality. No one gives a flying flip what you're selling, what you're doing online. Okay? So why is that? Because they're very, very focused on their own financial problems. They have their own business that they love, that they want to promote, so they don't care about yours. It's just human nature. Most people are in this business not because they have $1 million extra running around. They're here out of desperation or necessity. They got into online marketing not because they thought it'd be cool and they love it, but because they thought it was the only thing they could do that might make them an extra $500 or $5,000 a month. So they're out there busy doing that. And they do not care what you have to say. And that's the harsh reality. Now, here's the big problem. You might have the solution. There might be people out there that are very sick, and you have their health solution. But if they don't care and they won't listen to you, you can't help them. There's even more people out there that have bad financial health, and you may have the solution to that. And you can't help them because they will not listen to you. Earlier, Darla talked about engagement. This is what we're talking about. If people won't engage with you, How can you share the benefits of your business with them? The answer is you can't. And if you can't make any money. So even if you're trying to build a list, so Candy says, how come it's hard to get them on an email list? Because nobody cares. Nobody cares about the silly ebook you are trying to give away, or nobody cares anymore about the 12 tips that you put in a PDF. They don't care anymore. It's much, 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 much harder to get people's attention enough to even read what you're trying to give them. Okay? I'll give you an example. I'll tell you a little bit about, I'll get to that in a minute. So how do we create more engagement? If it's a big problem, how do we create more? Any idea? Darla says push button gratification. So what she means by that is give them the solution to their pain immediately. Okay? So if you have something you can give them that solves their pain or their pleasure, one or the other, and they can have it immediately, then you might be improving your situation to create engagement. Jeff says giving value. So what I talk about is the power of free. Okay? The power of free is so powerful. It's the #1 marketing strategy ever in the history of the world. Okay? It worked when it started. It worked yesterday. It works today, and it will work 500 years from now. Okay? Unless, of course, in 500 years from now, everything's free. Until everything's free, it will always work. So, like I said at the beginning, here's my little bit of time in the spotlight. My name is Frank Andrus. I am the giveaway guy. I discovered the hard way that nobody cared about what I was talking about. And then I discovered the easy way, that when I gave somebody something that they want, they paid attention to me. Many of you are on this webinar listening to me talk because I offered gigantic giveaways. Now, will you all buy stuff from me? No. Do I have an opportunity now to let you know a little bit about me? Do I have an opportunity to let you know about what I do and introduce maybe some products that I offer that you may like? Yes. And a small percent, 3 to 5%, will then buy. Okay? But if I don't create that engagement, I got 0%. So I learned that the more I give, the more I get. The more I give, the more I get. So I started giving away these little software that I had created for myself, because nobody cared about my BizOp that I was promoting. They wanted to know about the software that I had captured them with. So I said, well, listen, join me, I'll give it to you. So I started building, and I realized that the more I gave people, the more I got. So then I started getting other software that I had giveaway rights to, that I would say, give me your email, I'll give you the software. And that worked like crazy. But remember, I told you that I'm not going to share with you strategies that worked for me great in 2015 and don't work as good in 2018. I'll give you an example. I had one piece of software that I would give. I sold this software for 5 years for $30. And then in 2016, I developed a web-based version that was much better. So I started giving away the PC version, okay, and then upselling the web version. Now, what ended up happening in 2016 is that about 70 to 80% of the people that seen that free offer, they signed up. So I was able to generate leads like crazy by giving away a $30 piece of software. That same offer has about a 10% conversion rate today. It still converts, right? 10% of the people say, okay, Frank, I'll take that software. But it was 70% in 2016. 7 times more people. So do I want to just do the same old thing and lose 6 times of those people? No, I don't want to. I want to keep going at the same pace at least. So I discovered that in order to keep the people's interest, I have to offer more value. The $30 gift was not enough. Had to up it to 50. The only exception for the value, I kept upping the value. The only exception is I have a software now that's worth about $100, and you're going to get a chance to win it later. But people are really responding like crazy to it because it's an Instagram software and it's not been released to the public, and you cannot go and buy it. I have 2 competitors you can buy it from. One wants $10 a month, one wants $100 lifetime. But I'm giving it away because I'm getting that 40, 50% of the people who see that offer say, I want that, and they sign up. But somewhere in 3 months from now or 6 months from now, those numbers will drop, and I have to figure out another way to increase the engagement by giving value, by giving unbeatable value. So what does that mean? My competition cannot beat me, won't beat me. And the good part about giving value is most business people want to give as little as possible and get as much as possible. That's how we're programmed somehow. And that formula doesn't work in business. Like, you've all been to the restaurant that gives you the tiny little meal that you can barely, poke it with a fork because it's so small, and they have the giant price tag. Okay, and I'm not talking about a fine dining establishment. I'm talking about almost every restaurant we've ever been in. Then you got the guy across the street who's packed. There's people waiting to get in because his price is a little bit lower and he gives 3 times more food. Right? That's what I'm saying. The more value we give, the more engagement. Okay? So I learned that the power of free was my salvation. I don't have all of the marketing skills of these other guys. I am not Mr. Charisma. I cannot write super sales copy. Okay? I cannot make these wonderful animated videos. I can't do any of that stuff. But the more I give, the more people pay attention to me, the more I can tell them a little bit about me and what I sell. Now, the power of free is not a business model. It's a marketing strategy. You can't make money giving everything away. But you can make money starting a relationship by giving something of high value for free and then moving along. Okay, so I want to do one more quick demonstration that's very, very important. Okay, so I'm going to type in free. Wow, what a difference. What a difference just in a couple days. It's crazy. I better do this again. Okay, so check this out. I typed in free. There is 16.2 billion pages on the internet competing to get on the front page of Google. Let me say that again because it's so mind-boggling, it's unbelievable. There's 16.2 billion pages. You know how many websites there are in the world? About 2 billion. But there's 16 billion pages. A while ago, I did this demonstration. There was 8.4 billion. So when I tell you free is the biggest marketing mecca ever in the history of marketing, I'm not kidding. It's not my opinion. It's fact. So let's test that. Okay? Let's pick some of the topics that people like the most. Let's do sex. Okay? Sex has 3.6 billion. Okay? Free, 16 billion. How about religion? $1.5 billion. Free, 16 billion. How about food? I mean, we can't go 3 weeks without food. Food's got 5 billion pages. Okay? Free, 16 billion. The number one topic on the planet is news, and it has 11 billion. You need to add the news, sex, food, and religion combined to equal the power of free. So when I talk to you about the power of free, when it comes to marketing, it is all powerful. Buy one, get one free. That worked 20 years ago. It works today. It will work until everything is free. Free samples work. Free trials work. All right. So that's why I'm the giveaway guy. It's the only way that I know that ordinary human beings like me can get the lifestyle that I want. I'll buy a software for $500. I won't spend $500 on marketing, but I'll buy a software for $500 and I'll give it away for free because it will generate me thousands and thousands of leads that I could never buy with marketing for $500. Never. Okay, so who's ready? Type a 5 in the chat box if you are ready to see the steps to create marketing magic. All right. Jeff, Terry, who else? Vipla, Nancy, Paul, Christopher, Robin, Ted, Pam, Nicholas, Darla. Whew, I got to take a breath. Okay, everybody seems to be ready. So number one way to create marketing magic, okay, is to be relevant. What you think is important and what is actually important to your prospect is often very, very different. Okay. And most of the times it's only a tiny little area in between, and we don't know. We don't know what's relevant. We can study keyword research. We can ask our friends, and we just really don't know. But I'm going to show you a way to get the biggest companies in the world to give you giveaways that are so relevant, people will scream for them. Okay. Number two to marketing magic is stand out or stay invisible. Like you need to put a rocket pack on your back and stand out. You need to come up with some cool, innovative way to say, woohoo, look at me. I'm way different. And I'm going to show you how with a small little piece of technology, you will be ultra cool and you will stand out. And lastly, you need to give much more value. Okay, did I make my point? Not a little bit of value, not more value, much more value, unbeatable value. Crush your competition with value because most of them are cheapskates. They want to figure out a way. They don't think that they win unless they can get the most from you and give you the least. That's the mentality of the average businessman or woman. And if you have the more you give, the more you get mentality, you will absolutely crush your competition. Because I have numbers that compete with some pretty good marketers out there, and I don't have their talent. I don't have their resources, and I do not have their sphere of influence. But I can generate thousands of leads per month, per campaign that I run for free. I don't spend money on advertising. Not that I haven't started in the, like, you know, if you got a viral campaign and you throw a couple dollars at it, it really works well. I'm just saying that until I spent a couple bucks here and a couple bucks there on advertising, I never spent a penny for the first 6 or 7 years of my business. Never spent a penny. So I can show you how to do the same thing. Okay. More value, crush your competition. So if you If you're relevant, I'll show you how to be relevant. If you stand out, I'll show you how to do that. And if you provide much more value, and I'll give it to you, then you can go viral. That means when you share your message, other people will share it. Why? Because there's so much value in what you're offering. They want their team to have it. Okay, there's no secret. Okay, we don't do baby videos or cute cat and dogs. We're not shocking or entertaining. We're in business. Our topics are boring usually, but we can still go viral if we're relevant, if we stand out, and we give massive value. Okay, so type a 7 in the chat box if you want to know how this Fortune 500 profits works. Robin says 7. Jeff says 7. Okay, my screen just exploded with 7s. Candy, Terry. Okay, awesome. Okay, so we're going to partner with some of the biggest, baddest companies out there. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to talk about some industries. Never mind the individual companies, but let's understand a couple things. Okay, I was fascinated with the gaming angle because if we can turn our marketing into a game, would we stand out? If we could turn our marketing into a game, would we stand out? Well, of course, we would stand out, but is it relevant? So I took a look at the numbers. 511 billion says it's really relevant to people. Okay, this is in the US, $511 billion. So that makes it really relevant. That shows me that, and this is only legal gambling. This is not all of the poker games at people's houses. This is not all of the gambling that's done on ships in the ocean and all of this stuff. This is just the legal gambling establishments brought in 511 billion. That lets me know to people, to us human beings, that this gaming angle is extremely relevant. Because you know what? My brain doesn't work right all the time. I don't make the best decisions all the time. I don't always know the facts or know how to read between the lines. So when I look at something like this, there's no reading between the lines. 511 billion reasons why this is relevant. And when we want to talk about giving stuff away, what about tourism and travel? Well, in 2017, $8.27 trillion was spent on travel and tourism. So is that relevant to us human beings? Is that relevant? You can't argue that it's relevant. $8 trillion says that it's major relevance. So if I want to get somebody's attention, send them on a vacation. Like when I first heard the idea, I said, well, maybe who wants to? Well, that actually worked. And then I seen this number of 8.27 trillion. And then I said, relevant. That is crazy, crazy relevant. If we're going to put an offer in front of somebody, and remember, I'm not suggesting we get in the travel and tourism industry. That's not what I'm suggesting. Okay, you already have your own business. I'm going to show you how to get more leads and engagement for your own business using this giant industry. This is a giant industry, right? It's humongous. $8 trillion industry. It cannot be ignored. If we can get them to help us, man, would that boost our sales, right? What about food and groceries? Just in the United States, I think the number's low, actually. In the United States, there's 128 million homes. And it says that they spend an average of $2,800 on groceries. It can't be right. Anyways, I forget how I worked out the numbers. But in total, is $301 trillion on food. So when it comes to getting people's attention, do you think food is relevant? You cannot say no. It doesn't matter what your opinion is. Okay? Not that I don't respect your opinion. But if we're going to argue whether or not food is relevant, it is relevant. Yes, Candy says everyone needs to eat to live. That's 100% right, Candy. 3 weeks and we die without food. Food is very, very relevant. Wow, that's big numbers, right? So we got 511 billion, 8.27 trillion, and 301 trillion. So that is roughly 310 trillion reasons that if we get these companies to work with us, it would be super simple to get noticed. Okay? If we had the buying power of those companies and the exposure of those companies, $310 trillion, do you believe it would be super simple to get noticed? Type a 3 in the chat box. If you believe with that kind of brand power and those industries behind you, it would be super simple to get noticed. Okay, Christopher, Candy, Terry, John, Ted, Tim. All right, Nicholas, this time I understand what you're saying. Sorry, my friend. Okay. So we're talking about big incentives. And the thing about big incentives is we don't have the money for them. Okay? We don't. You know? Now, I'm in a different situation. I run a program where I'll give away $1,000. Okay? But I'll bring in 4,000 to 6,000 leads to give out that $1,000. So to me, 22 cents to 33 cents a lead is a very, very good price. So when you're starting, you don't have $1,000 to give away, because what if your campaign doesn't bring in that many leads if you're just starting? But if you want to give away free trips and free food and free software, which I can help you with, you would have some giant incentives, right? Like, do incentives work? Of course they do. We all started with getting an allowance from our parents, right? That's an incentive. It's a tiny one. But we did what they wanted because we needed that allowance to buy candies at the corner store. Right? Ethical bribes work magically if they're valuable. Okay? Incentives that aren't valuable don't work. Okay? So I'll give you an example. I live on the border. I live in Mexico on the border of Belize. For those of you who know, I'm currently for the next couple of months visiting family in Canada because that's where I'm from. But this is where I live. I live in a very beautiful place. Okay? I live in a place like this picture. So why am I telling you this? Because I see this picture and I want to go there. I already live in a place like that, but I still want to go to this resort. That's so beautiful. I want to go there. So do you think vacation incentives are a powerful motivator? You bet you. It's where dreams live. What about giving somebody $1,000 certificate for a restaurant and $1,000 for groceries? I'm talking about they get a certificate and they get to pick out the deals they want at the restaurants. What restaurants? So what restaurants? So these work in the US only, okay? The food, the vacations work anywhere. The food works US only. But the restaurants, there's hundreds and hundreds. All the big ones are there. Okay? You get to pick out, if somebody wins a certificate, which I'm going to give you a chance in only a couple minutes. You get, if you won one of those, you get to decide which deals you pick. Same with the groceries. You don't get stuck with a bunch of stupid coupons you don't want. You get $1,000 grocery certificate and you order up the deals you want. Okay? You pay a small postage and handling fee, I think $10 to get all your stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy good. $1,000. You think somebody who's struggling to make money online couldn't use $1,000 in savings for food? Everybody loves games. We love games because we first started playing them as a family, and then against our friends, and then we learned more in school and in sports, and we love to compete, and we love to win. We just love to win. Okay, so what if we can now take these tremendous giveaways and we can add a gamification? Okay, we can add gamification to it. So what am I talking about? Well, what if we said spin to win a trip for 2 to Mexico? Okay, nothing to join, no purchase necessary. Just come and play the game. Okay, so I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Then I'm going to let you try it. So here's an example of a page, and we could have whatever background we want back here, and we could have whatever colors we want here. We can change all of the words here. Okay, they come here, and we've sent them first to a page. And I don't have it loaded up here, but the page shows them. It shows them like for one of my things is they can win $1,000. They can win the week the trip for 2 to Mexico, which is about $1,400 and some dollars. They can win the $1,000 restaurant, the $1,000 grocery, Insta profile, and traffic jacker. Okay, so they go to a page that shows them all the gifts first, then they click, and then this pops up. Okay, so I'm going to put me in here, and then I'm going to spin. Okay, so I have this program. I have this program that on the first 2 spins, nobody can win. I want people to win, but they can't win on the first 2 spins. Okay, so now it's telling me out of spins, get more, share on Facebook. Okay, so they see this win $1,000, or they see the win the trip to Mexico, right? Wow, they didn't win, but they want a chance to win, so they're going to click here, and then you'll have, like yours would have, win a trip for 2 to Mexico here. Okay, and then I post it to Facebook. And then now I have 5 more spins. So I programmed it to let them win something between spin number 2 and spin number 4, I think. So on spin number 2, 3, or 4, you'll all win something. And each prize has a different odds of winning. Okay, so of course the $1,000 cash prize has a much your odds are greater to win Traffic Jacker than they are to win the $1,000, right? Okay, so now I'm going to spin. Uh-oh. 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 All right, so I want access to Traffic Jacker. Okay? And then they will click here to go and get access. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in the chat, the slot machine. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to click it. I want you to go to it. Remember, you have 0 chance of winning your first 2 spins. So you do your first 2 spins, you share it on Facebook, you get 5 more spins, and either spin number 2, 3, or 4 is going to give you one of the prizes. You got just to let you know, everybody asks me, well, what chance do I got at the $1,000? It's 1 in 6,000, your odds of winning the $1,000. It's 1 in 5 in 100 to go to Cancun, 10 in 100 for the food, and about 35 in 100 for the software. Okay, something like that. So I want you to go and experiment with the game, and then please come back here and type what you won. All right, Terry won Traffic Jacker. John also won Traffic Jacker. Candy won the restaurant certificate. Awesome. Not able to get into Facebook. Robin won the trip to Mexico. Oh my God, we're really giving out some good ones on this one. Almost on my last webinar, I think everybody only won software on my last webinar. Awesome, Robin, awesome. Okay, Vipla won Insta Profile. Ted won Traffic Jacker. Nicholas won Traffic Jacker. Tim won Traffic Jacker. Who else? Who else we got going on here? Pam won Insta Profile. Okay, who else are we waiting for to come back here? Chris won Insta Profile. Okay, I'm going to wait. Well, I promise I am the giveaway guy, Candy. So when I don't like contests where only one person wins. And with this new system, we can give away these kind of prizes. Me and you can give away these kind of prizes without us, because these big companies want us to do it for them, right? They have to pay for printing. They have to pay for advertising. They have to pay for distribution. But if they give us these prizes to give away, we'll do it for them. This is why this is such a cool opportunity. And I made sure to partner with people where there's no big catches. Like, you can only go on the trip on every 7th leap year when the moss grows on the southwest side of the rock in Italy. You know what I mean? That kind of nonsense. When somebody wins a trip, they should just win a trip. Okay? Now, I know there's little things like local taxes. I mean, those are never included no matter who you buy the trip from. So things like that are going to apply to this particular things. Things like the restaurant thing. I mean, you're going to have to pay them a couple bucks to mail you back you'll register it, and you have to pay them a couple bucks to mail it back to you in the mail, but it's $1,000. So even if it's $10, right? And even if there's a couple pennies processing fee here and there, if you have to do other transactions, the thing is, it's still $1,000 of actual savings to go to McDonald's and Arby's and TGI Fridays and all of these companies. They're all there. All of those companies are there, and some of the bigger steakhouses and stuff like that are there. Yeah. Yep. You're right. Okay. So now let me get back to the presentation here. So we know, right? Everybody wants instant gratification. So if we prepared something like this for you, instant spin and win, vacation giveaways, 3 days, 2 nights vacation, 20 trips to one. If you post something like that in a Facebook group, type a 1 in the chat box if you think that's going to work better than what you're posting now. Darla, Robin, who else? Only Darla and Robin think it's going to work better. Candy says for sure. Jeff, okay, that's it. Okay, Thomas and Craig. Vitaly, okay. Awesome. Okay, so one of the things that I like to do is I'm gonna show you how I can put this all in a package for you, because when I learned about this 6 months ago, I didn't like the package they had. So I built one of my own. But I know that there's going to be people out there that are like me, that don't want to join something. They want to build their own. So I'm going to show you exactly how much money it costs. And if you want, I'll even have a quick 5 or 10-minute conversation with you, and I will give you all of the sources that I use to put all of this stuff together. So the software that you see, for me to buy the front end and the 3 upsells, that gives it all the bells and whistles and all the options to be able to do everything I needed to do, that was $238. That did not include the agency rights that I had to buy so that I could make contests like this for you. Okay? That's just personal use, $238. Traffic Jacker is $47. I sell the giveaway rights for $295. Okay? Insta Profile, I haven't even launched it yet. It's live on the internet, but I haven't even launched it for sale yet. Okay, $9.95 monthly. I have another competitor that sells it for $97 one time. I offer the giveaway rights for $495. Okay. The company that I deal with the vacation incentives, and where I'll be able to give you your own private portal to log in and give away as many vacation incentives as you want, that costs $47 a month. Okay? The food giveaways I buy from another company, and they're $29.95 a month. As a special webinar bonus, okay, and I don't ever joke around. When you see me put a retail value of something, I never joke around. It's the actual retail value. Okay, I've bought about $5,000 or $6,000 worth of Facebook marketing courses, and a lot of them are good. And a lot of them are from marketers who maybe made $1 million, or maybe they make 6 figures a year, and they're good marketing courses. But when I got my hands on this one, I went, holy wow. Because this guy, now his numbers are up to 26 million. But at the time that he posted this, he had spent $23 million in Facebook ad spends. He has over 3.8 million fans, and he has 200 million in sales for bookvip.com. Okay, 200 million in sales. He's not, you know what I mean? None of the internet marketers we know are in this guy's league. Okay, let me say that again. None of the internet marketers we know are in this guy's league. I personally have had conversations with half a dozen or more that make $1 million or more a year, but not 200 million in sales. Okay. Now, I don't know what his sales is now that he spent 26 million, but this course is yours free as a webinar bonus. $1,000 course. And we're going to give you your own page building system, because everybody needs a capture page system. Okay? Everybody needs a capture page system. Everybody needs a page to be able to build whatever they need to build. And those systems on the internet are sold from $19 a month to $300 a month. But I'm going to tell you, this is just about the best one on the planet. Okay? Why it makes our builder different? Well, there's 236 professionally designed drags and drop templates. You can build at the speed of thought. It does not take any design knowledge. Okay? You can build any kind of landing page. No design or coding skills needed. And all of the conversion elements, the scarcity timers and the testimonials and all of these other really cool things that everybody sells separately are all included. Now, again, I can show you where to go buy this system. It's $30 a month. Okay? But we're going to include it as part of our package. We're also going to include the hosting complete on an SSL certified site. What does that mean? Well, if you want to post to Facebook, you need to be SSL certified. Okay? So then we're going to give you 35 complete funnels. Let me say that again. 35 capture pages, 35 thank you pages, all set up and ready to go. Okay, so what am I talking about? Okay, so Here, oh, I need to change my screen. Sorry. I need to change my screen. So hang on. Here we go. We got funnels for everything. If you have a friend who's in the life insurance business, build them a funnel. Okay. If you know a chiropractor and that chiropractor going to pay you $200 a month to run a funnel for them and do giveaways, then build them a funnel. Okay. You want somebody to book an appointment with you? Give them a free thing. Become a member. Give them a free trip. Test drive. Your uncle has a used car lot. Give them a test drive funnel. Okay. Enter to win Orlando, donate, credit repair, referral programs, 30-day trials. Okay. You can do business with local people, or there's dozens of funnels to use for yourself. Okay. What if you were in the weight loss business? Lose inches and feel great. Learn how easy it is. Win a free 5-night Mexico vacation. Check this out. Okay, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but you get the point. This is a professional commercial. Okay? People are going to sign up here. All right? What if you want to ask somebody ask about how they can make money from home? Ask about how you can make money from home, receive a free 3-night vacation getaway to Orlando. Ask how we can increase your sales with digital marketing. And again, another video, right? Okay, so can you even imagine how much each one of those funnels would cost to produce? Even on Fiverr, you couldn't get it done for $50. Okay. So let's recap. Let's recap what I talked about. Okay. Here's the annual cost on this category. So the gamification was $238. The Insta profile was $495. The traffic jacker was $295. The vacation incentives was $464. The food giveaways was $359.40. The $26 million Facebook course, $997. Premium page builder with lead system, $120, and 35 done for you lead funnels. Like I said, you couldn't even get them done for $50 each, but I got them at $50 each for a value of $1,750. I do not inflate the prices. You will never hear me say something is worth something when it's bullshit. That is absolute nonsense. I don't play those games. Okay. So if you want to build this system yourself, it'll cost you about $4,800. Okay. Or monthly. The monthly cost, if I divide this into 12 monthly payments, it's $421.64 per month. Okay? I'm going to offer you the entire system for a $97 setup fee and then $9.95 per month. Now, why am I doing this? Why would I give just about the most powerful marketing system on the planet for only $100 and $9.95 a month? Well, because I'm going to launch this in the fall after I have your case studies. And people are going to pay $1,000 for this system because that's what it's worth. They're going to pay me $1,000 and then they're going to pay me about $29.95 per month. But people don't care about my results because they say, "Oh, you're a big marketer and you already got a big list and it won't work for me." But when I show them somebody who is struggling to make 50 leads now makes 500 a week. Okay. So I want to show you one more thing just to prove what I'm talking about here. I got to go back to campaigns here. I'll share my screen with you in a minute. Okay, so this is a mind-blowing stat here. Let me just get this. Okay. I got to share a different screen. Okay, so what you're looking at my my campaign. Okay, so this morning I went online and I started doing some sharing. Okay, so I shared on only LinkedIn and Facebook, and I didn't have much time, maybe 45 minutes of sharing. So what did I do? I wished people, oh, hi, oh, it's your birthday. Okay, here's a birthday gift. I wrapped it in a game. Oh, thank you very much for sending me a Facebook request. I like to start my relationship off by giving a gift, but today I wrapped it up in a game. Okay, I posted to 30 Facebook groups, and then I did a bunch of posting on LinkedIn. Okay, I'm going to tell you that if you had a valuable gift and without this game, if you did the same amount of posting, after 24 hours, you might have 5 or 6 leads. Okay, after 24 hours, you might have 5 or 6 leads. But watch, I'm going to show you the report. I don't know why the numbers are funky. I guess the time zone is on their server, right? But you can see that these leads from sharing I did 2 hours ago. I have no idea what this is going to be when I'm done. But here's the most amazing part. My conversion rate is 104%. And you know why? Because I got 22 people who went here and I got 23 emails. Because one person refreshed the game and played again. But somebody played twice. So what's amazing about this is that means everybody that came to this page put their email in there. That's mind-blowing. 100% conversion rate. Now, if I had 1,000 unique views, would this be 100%? No. But opt-in rates for a professional campaign are around 20%. So if you did a 70% conversion rate, that is mind-blowing. That is 3.5 times what a professional marketer can produce. These guys who tell you they get 40% opt-in rates on their email campaigns are not telling you that that's the best campaign that they ever ran, and the rest of their campaigns get 18%. A 20% conversion rate on an email campaign is super fantastic. Okay, so now I just have to get you a link. So who's in? Tell me right now who is in. I'm going to share a link for you to pick up this deal for $97 and $9.95 per month. Who's in to dramatically catapult their marketing? Sorry, I'm switching to another screen, so I'll get back to the who's in a minute. Okay, Jeff says he's in. Terry's in. Am I missing somebody else? Okay, so let me ask you, if you didn't tell me right now that you're in, why not? If I just put together the most powerful marketing promotion that you can run for your business, plus I give you the ability to sell it to local businesses to make some really, really decent monthly income, why are you not in? If you're not, Terry's in. Terry's in, Jeff's in. Okay, Pam said she's in. Darla's in. Did I say? I said Terry already, right? Okay, so what did we learn? I ran a campaign for about 45 minutes today. I got about 23 leads. And now, what are my leads going to be after this campaign has been live for 24 hours? I don't know. And if you can spend an hour of work and get 15 or 20 leads a day, then you cannot afford not to get involved in this founder's position. Terry's saying, do we need our own website? If you have your own website, it's awesome because we can put the contest right on your own website. That's a good question, Terry. But for those of you that do not have your own website, we have included an entire page building system complete with hosting. So your campaign and all of the funnels and everything are on this system that you could never get with the hosting and you could never get it for less than $50 a month. We've included that. Remember, this is a founders program. This is a program where you get personal access to me to help you succeed. So I get your results to show people on the webinars that I'm going to do in September and October, and ask for $997 plus a monthly fee for this program. Okay, thank you so much for those of you who jumped on board. We only have a couple more spots left, and then this offer is closed for good for the founders. And then if you want to get access, well, you'll have to pay $1,000 up front and then a monthly fee when we reopen in September. So yes, Candy, I'm going to be working with you personally, because your success on this particular project is extremely important for my business. So Candy had asked if we were going to help us out and get everything set up and running. And that's the whole point, is this particular program with the page builder system we give you and the 35 funnels all set up and done for you. We put a lot of work into this to make sure that it is very, very easy for you to use. The game is set up. You don't have to do anything. You just have to share it. Okay, that's all for me. Thanks again for those people who jumped on board. I look forward to working with you. And goodbye for now.